relations to manage public perception as tool for unity and development. State government commenced construction of internal roads and drainages at State NYSC camp. President Tinubu approves training of over 5 million workers in artificial intelligence. And abroad, United States selects design for futuristic missile defense system. A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on the Delta Television Main News at 8. Joy Ochei is my name. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has called on members of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR) to take a more proactive role in managing public perception as a strategic tool for fostering unity, development, and good governance across the country. Governor Oboriwori made a call at the 2025 NIPR Week held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. In his goodwill message, Governor Oboriwori stressed that effective perception management is essential to building a greater Nigeria, especially in an era dominated by information overload and misinformation. The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniago, noted that while developmental strides were being made by state and national governments, their impact can be diminished if not properly communicated to the public. Governor Oboriwori further urged public relations professionals to rise above partisan narratives and focus on truth-driven communication. The chairman of the African Public Relations Association, APRA, Dr. Omoniyi Ibieton, delivered a keynote lecture titled 10 Things Shaping the Future of Public Relations. He outlined critical trends influencing the evolution of the profession, including the growing emphasis on collaboration, the importance of authenticity, adherence to a robust code of ethics, the transformative impacts of the Internet, and the integration of artificial intelligence (AI) into communication strategies. Dr. Ibieton cautioned public relations professionals against blindly trusting AI-generated content without verification. He encouraged the use of fact-checking tools and platforms such as Google, Image Reverse, Dubawa, and other local fact-checking agencies to safeguard credibility and public trust. The state deputy governor, Samande Onyeme, has described agriculture as the heartbeat and bedrock of national security, sustainability, and a pathway to sustainable development. Onyeme stated this at the first international conference on food and security at the Dennis Osadebe University, Asaba. Pere Botu reports.
The state deputy governor, represented by the deputy chief of staff, Government House Asaba, Sir Christopher Osakwe, said the conference with the team, Building Resilience Against Hunger, Addressing Nigeria's Food Insecurity Challenges, was timely, stressing that it calls for an urgent need to build robust agricultural systems that can withstand shocks, feed the population, and secure the future. The deputy governor noted that the Governor Sheriff Oboriwori administration was fully committed to advancing agriculture as a cornerstone of the MORE agenda. Sir Oyeme reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the state government to supporting initiatives that enhances food security and strengthens the agricultural sector.
Agriculture is more than an economic activity. It is the heartbeat of our rural communities, the bedrock of national stability, and the pathway to sustainable development. For us in Delta State, ensuring food security is not just a goal, it is a strategic priority.
In their goodwill messages, the Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Tonukarin Yenro, and the member representing Oshimile South constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Bridget Ayafulu, said there was need for everyone to go back to farming in order to ensure food security. They said the state government was ready to assist those willing to go into farming.
Agric is not only for sustainable agriculture or for feeding, not only that. We should teach the children beyond that. If you study in the United States like me, if you call yourself a farmer in the United States, everybody say they're multi-millionaires. That's not so. But in Nigeria, if you call yourself a farmer, they think you're poor.
So it is important that we agree, arising from this meeting, that we have the capacity to put an end to widespread poverty. We have the capacity to put an end to unemployment. We have capacity to make diversification work.
Earlier in his address, the Vice Chancellor of the Dennis Osadebe University, Asaba, Professor Ben Ogojafor, described food insecurity as a menace which must be tackled through the provision of adequate food for Deltans.
There is need, an urgent need, for everyone who is studying in the university, who is working in the university, to establish a small farm wherever he or she is. That is the first way to address food insecurity in the country.
In his welcome address, the Dean, Faculty of Agriculture of the Dennis Osadebe University, Asaba, Professor Emmanuel Inoni, said the conference was an opportunity to engage in thought-provoking discussion, explore cutting-edge research, and to learn from the best practices in the field.
This conference is an opportunity to engage in thought-provoking discussions, explore cutting-edge research, and to learn from best practices in the field. It will also afford the leeway to connect with fellow professionals, build stronger relationships, and create synergies that will drive positive change toward preferring practical solutions to surmounting the problem of hunger and food insecurity at the household, state, and national levels.
The keynote speaker, Professor Eric Ebo, in his paper titled Breaking the Vicious Circle of Food Insecurity in Nigeria Through Paradigm Shifts, called for synergy in tackling the challenges of food security in the state and the country at large.
I want to say that breaking the perennial vicious cycle of food insecurity in Nigeria requires end-to-end paradigm shifts and business-oriented approaches along the agri-food value chain. Paradigm shifts in policy templates, program implementation, budgeting, funding, institutional coordination, educational system, human resource development, technology leveraging, and service delivery.
I am Pere Botu reporting.
The state government has commenced construction of internal roads and drainage works at the National Youth Service Corps NYSC orientation camp in Iseluku in Aniocha North local government area as part of efforts at addressing infrastructural challenges in the camp. Inspecting the projects, Commissioner for Works, Highways and Urban Roads, Comrade Ruben Azize, said the job covered all internal roads within the orientation camp, particularly in areas where corps members were lodged, where they held parades and where they engaged in leisure activities. He said Governor Shariff Oborevwori gave approval for the construction of 1.2 kilometers of roads with 2.4 kilometers of covered drainage. The contractor, Mr. Roni Karam, said the project was expected to be completed within 2 months, as most of the drainage work had been done, adding that the earthworks, laying of stone base and asphalt will soon commence. In another development, Commissioner Zize has expressed disappointment over the abandoned Nemiyi erosion control project, which was intended to connect to the storm drainage system linking the Okpanam-Igbuzo bypass road. Commissioner vowed to recommend to the governor that the project be terminated due to clear failure and frustration. A two-day seminar for community newspapers publishers in the state ended with a call on newsmen to see themselves as agents of change and not purveyors of falsehood. Executive Assistant to the Governor on Public Enlightenment Projects and Policies, Mr. Olise Ifejika, made the call while addressing participants at Government House at Sabah. Mr. Ifejika, who said the best way for publishers of community newspapers to excel was for them to give adequate coverage to their locality, as the agenda setting of newsmen has a way of bringing desired orientation and positive change to the society. He said blackmail, libel, sensationalism, fake news and other unethical behaviors have painted media practice in bad light and advocated the need for quacks in the mainstream medium and social media to stir off the bubble profession. Mr. Ifejika said the best way to maintain high integrity in line of duty was for journalists to uphold professionalism, truth, credibility, versatility, full grasp of the law, and puts the general good of the society above self. He congratulated participants on the program and charged them to put the knowledge garnered into maximum use in their duties. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Community Newspapers, Comrade Joseph Urumonakbaye, thanked the Governor for the opportunity to enhance capacity of participants, pledging on behalf of others that they would put the knowledge into judicious use. Highlights of the event was presentation of certificates to participants. Providing Clean Transportation Solutions has launched its Compressed Natural Gas (CNG) Conversion Center and Electric Vehicle Center in Asaba. The center, which will serve as a regional hub for converting petrol-powered vehicles to cleaner, cost-effective CNG systems in the state, was commissioned by the Commissioner, Directorate for Transport, Mr. Onoriode Agofure. Henry Osiayo reports.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The Chief Executive Officer of Electra Motors, Mr. Charles Omodia, said the company is positioned to lead the sustainable transport revolution in West Africa. Mr. Omodia noted that the initiative aligns with the Nigeria's national energy transition goals, particularly the Presidential CNG Initiative, PCNGI, and reflects Electra's Motors' mission to promote sustainable mobility across the country. He revealed that the CNG Center will provide reasonably priced tricycle, automotive, and bus conversions, post-purchase maintenance and assistance, technician certification and training, and clean energy awareness initiatives for transport unions and drivers. He went on to say that the conversion for commercial cars is free in order to lower the cost of public transport, supporting larger initiatives to lessen the financial strain on Nigeria's households.
Since fuel subsidy has been removed, the transportation cost has almost 100% differences from what we see before. So what we're doing in collaboration with the federal government and Delta State government is to make transportation cheaper for Delta especially, and a whole lot of our citizens are facing so many challenges, and that is what Electra Motor is coming to solve. That problem is what we're working on.
In their keynote address, the Commissioner, Directorate of Transport, Mr. Onorode Agofure, and his counterpart in Science and Technology, Mr. Odinigwe Daniel, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Ejiro Oenaga, described the initiative as a game changer in the transportation sector and promised to partner with Electra Motors.
I think Electra means business because they have up-to-date equipment and facilities here. So I'm very, very impressed with what we're seeing today.
As a ministry, we are supportive of this project. We are aware that the energy initiative seeks to push the effect of fuel subsidy removal. It aims to reduce the financial burden on Nigeria caused by the removal of fuel subsidy.
In their Gobi messages, the regional coordinator, CNG Expansion, Mr. Musa Benjamin, and the State Secretary of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Comrade Tony Igwebuike described the initiative as a positive step towards reducing the cost of transportation for Nigerians.
So we don't have to rely on CNG, which is the best part of energy currently now.
It's a welcome development. It's going to be very useful to drivers in Delta State.
Highlight of the event was the official inauguration of the Electra Motors Compressed Natural Gas CNG Conversion Center and Electric Vehicle Center in Asaba, as well as a tour around the facilities. Henry Usiayu reporting.
Rotarian Lady Ejiro Umukoro has been inducted into the Rotary Club of Asaba Government House. The event held in Asaba. Henry Onogwa reports.
Addressing the new member, the president of the Rotary Club of Asaba Government House, Rotarian Smart Edoge, said Rotary Club is a non-government organization geared towards improving the lives of the people. He noted that Rotarian Lady Ejiro Omokoro saw the philanthropist gesture of the group and indicated interest and charged her to be prepared to render service above self, as that was the role of Rotarians all over the world.
I am extremely happy that today she took that bold step to become a Rotarian. Ejiro is a humanitarian. Of course, a humanitarian is someone who loves humanity, who cares for other people. She cares, and she's a lively person.
Subscribing to the oath of the association, Rotarian Lady Ejiro Omokoro commended Rotary Club of Asaba Government House for its unwavering commitment to humanitarian service, community development, and the promotion of global goodwill. She noted that her induction into the Rotary family served as a significant milestone in her lifelong dedication to humanitarian service, adding that her decision to join Rotary was a deliberate and heartfelt commitment to expanding the reach of her philanthropist gesture, vulnerable members of the society, and pledged to obey the code of conduct of the association.
Rotary Club has been notable for the kind of humanitarian job that it does. I love the fight they've had. They fought strongly in Nigeria, particularly with regards to polio. We know how ravaging the polio can be when young people, young children in particular, before the age of 5, when they don't take the vaccines, it can have damaging effect on their limbs and their physical looks. So for me, that is commendable. They are also interested in things that I love to do, which relates to literature and literacy, as well as the promotion of reading culture.
Other speakers at the ceremony commended Rotarian Lady Ejiro Omokoro for her resilience in towing the path of humanitarian service, adding that she was committed to ensuring that every child, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to learn and to thrive.
Lady E, we are going to have fun in this house. She's one vivacious woman that I've seen, very, very lively.
She is a very boisterous person. She's full of life.
The event featured the formal induction and decoration of Rotarian Lady Ejiro Omokoro with Rotary insignia by Rotarian Ebuka Olisemedwa. Henry Onogwa reporting.
The Property World Africa Network, P1 Unique, an affiliate of P1 Group, a real estate development company, has held its first anniversary celebration. Gospel artists who graced the occasion led the audience in fervent worship and thanksgiving.
P1's unique first anniversary celebration was a spectacle of elegance and gratitude. The highlight of the event included the presentation of a Toyota Camry and a Highlander SUV to 2 outstanding staff members. Gospel artists also graced the occasion, leading the audience in heartfelt worship and thanksgiving. The occasion served as both a moment of reflection and a launchpad for the future. P1's Unique used the opportunity to access its milestones for the past year and outline strategic goals for the years ahead, while appreciating those who have driven its success. In a chat with journalists, co-founder of P1 Group Nigeria, Dr. Jane Oumere, noted that the company's significant contribution to Nigeria's housing sector, delivering decent, affordable homes to many Nigerians.
We want to make home ownership dream a reality for as many people as possible. We have some of our people already living in estates they've built, and others are present. In fact, on Tuesday, we did groundbreaking for another estate that is coming up in Port Harcourt. You know, he has built an estate he's living in. He has built an estate that people are living in, and so many others.
Dr. Ouumere, who also serves as chairman of P1 Unique, expressed joy that countless families have seen improved incomes and livelihoods through the group's initiatives. She commended the team for their passion, discipline, and dedication, which she credited for the affiliate's rapid success. Managing Director of P1 Unique, Mr. Amechi Okonkwo, and Executive Director, Mrs. Jennifer Amechi Okonkwo, affirmed that thousands of lives have been positively impacted. They reiterated their promise to continue delivering premium estates with modern amenities that offer clients comfort and value.
In just 1 year, by the grace of God, see what we're able to achieve. I can't say the figures, but I can tell you that lives have been touched. Thousands of lives have been touched by the birthing of P1 Unique, and much more things are going to come.
By the grace of God, P1 Unique is just one now. In a short while, we've had several estates in the markets, right? I can't start counting now, you know.
The directors also shared their hopes and expectations for greater accomplishments in the years ahead.
By the grace of God, we have also been able to, you know, reach out to our PBOs. We have a lot of PBOs now. P1 is a family. P1 has over 70 affiliate companies, right? So our PBOs, who have been able to reach out to those PBOs and making home ownership a reality.
My own driving force is to ensure that with minimal profits, get people something good and deliver it to them. Yes, that's my driving force.
The climax of the celebration was a surprise gift, a check of 10 million naira and a boarding pass for a tour of Europe presented to Dr. Jane Ouumere by P1 Unique Managing Director and Executive Director. Visibly moved, she expressed heartfelt joy and prayed for greater accomplishments for the affiliate.
I received this beautiful gift. It's all joy and honor. Thank you.
Additionally, the emotional presentation of a Toyota Camry and the Highlander SUV to a couple, both as standing staff members, was met with rousing ovation. Guests applauded the gesture, describing it as well-deserved honor. With eyes set on the future, P1 Unique remains optimistic about even greater achievements in the years to come. I am Pere Botu reporting.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the training of over 5 million workers in the private and public sectors on the deployment of artificial intelligence AI to boost Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, and national security. The Digital Bridge Institute, DBI, headed by Dr. Boson Tijani, will conduct the training over the next 3 years under the Ministry of Communications, Innovations and Digital Economy. The President and Chief Executive Officer of the DBI, Mr. David Dasa, stated this at the Digital Economic Complex, Mbora, Abuja, during the 21st anniversary celebration of the Institute with the theme, Preparing Today's Workforce for Tomorrow's Markets. The event, attended by private and public sector stakeholders such as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, the Nigeria Data Protection Commission NDPC, the Nigerian Navy NN, and Mobile Network Operators MNOs, was organized to showcase the Institute's achievements since its establishment in 2004. The DBI president said the training would ensure that Nigeria was not lagging behind in AI revolution. He urged states and local governments across the country to key into the programs. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, has appealed to public relations professionals in the country to key into the ongoing reforms aimed at rebranding the nation's reputation and attracting investors in the country. Alhaji Idris made the appeal during the official opening ceremony of the Nigerian Public Relations NPR Week 2025 in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. The theme of the event was Harnessing Public Relations for Nigerian Economic Relations. He said the renewed hope agenda of the current administration is paving the way for a robust economic recovery, even as he announced the allocation of 1.5 trillion naira to revamp the Bank of Agriculture within 2 years of President Bola Tinubu's administration. In his remarks, President and Chairman in Council of NIPR, Dr. Ike Ninako, emphasized the need for effective communication in leadership, citing its lack as a major problem facing the country. He also used the occasion to announce that Nigeria will host the 2026 World Public Relations Forum, which is expected to bring together public relations practitioners from around the world. The federal government has deployed performance and financial management officers PFMOs to 774 local government areas in the country to improve transparency and accountability in the management of basic healthcare provision funds, BHCPF. Meanwhile, over 60,700 health workers have been retained. Over 60,700 health workers had been retrained, while several facilities were being revitalized with solar power, better infrastructure, equipment, and essential medical commodities as part of efforts to reposition the primary healthcare centers in the country. The Executive Director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, Mr. Dr. Muyi Aina, stated this during the national flag-off and onboarding training for the officers in Abuja. Dr. Aina said the initiative was key towards strengthening the implementation of the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, BHCPF, at the primary healthcare level. He explained that the initiative was part of President Bola Tinubu's wider reforms to ensure Nigerians have access to quality basic health services. The NPHCDA boss noted that funding was now flowing through 4 BHCPF gateways involving the NPHCDA, NHIA, states and local governments directly to health facilities. Dr. Aina added that the PFMO deployment aligned with the recently launched Health Fellows Program, which also targets 774 youths across the country. The House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes has called on state governments across Nigeria to domesticate anti-corruption laws to strengthen the fight against grafts at all levels. The committee chairman, Honorable Ginger Onwusibi, made the call during the opening session of a 3-day workshop on anti-corruption, fiscal responsibility, and good governance for Edo state and local government officials. The event, held at the National Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, in Abuja, was organized in collaboration with Barclays Global Consult and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Represented by the clerk to the committee, Honorable Austin Adisuru, Honorable Onwusibi expressed concerns that despite the presence of anti-corruption laws and institutions, corruption, money laundering, and financial fraud continue to plague the public sector. He stressed the need for state governments not only domesticate relevant laws, but also promote ethical values and reorient both public officials and citizens to uphold transparency and accountability in governance. Honorable Onwusibi highlighted the EFCC's recent milestones and noted that in 2024 alone, the EFCC recovered over 365.4 billion naira and secured 4,111 convictions. The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, Ms. Kemi Nandab, has said that the agency is intensifying efforts to fortify Nigeria's borders, particularly maritime frontiers, to combat terrorism, piracy, and other transnational crimes. Ms. Nandab stated this during the opening ceremony of a regional workshop on maritime border security, organized by the NIS, with the theme Maritime Security in the Context of Counterterrorism in the Gulf of Guinea, Abuja. She noted that the strategic gathering reflected the collective commitment of West and Central African nations to jointly tackle a range of maritime threats, including piracy, terrorism, illicit arms flow, human trafficking, stowaways, and migrant smuggling. Ms. Nandab emphasized that the NIS plays a crucial role in preventing foreign terrorist fighters and criminal elements from breaching the nation's borders, highlighting the importance of robust passport control and travel document verification as core to counterterrorism efforts. According to Ms. Nandab, the service would strengthen intelligence gathering through the advanced passenger information. In his remarks, while declaring the workshop open, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, commended the NIS for taking the lead in reviewing Nigeria's border security strategy and reaffirmed the federal government's readiness to make tough decisions to secure the country's territorial integrity. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Delta State Sector Command, has called on members of the public who have processed their national driver's licenses but are yet to collect them to do so without further delay. In a statement by the sector public education officer, Mr. Patrick Kobiabo said the latest audits across the various driver's license centers in Delta State, a total of 8,379 processed driver's licenses remain uncollected, including licenses processed for both fresh applications and renewals. The Corps emphasizes that possession of a valid driver's license is not only a legal requirement, but also a vital step towards promoting safer road use and accountability. Drivers are therefore encouraged to play their part in upholding road safety by completing the final stage of their application process. The statement said, the command remained committed to ensuring the safety of all road users and urged the public to check and collect their driver's licenses at the earliest convenience. An overnight yesterday rainfall has led to the escape of 7 inmates from the medium security custodial center in Ilesha, Osun State, after the facility's old perimeter was collapsed. According to the Nigerian Correctional Service, the breach occurred around 2 a.m. and was caused by the structural failure of the wall during the storm. The spokesperson for the NCOS, Mr. Omar Abubakar, in a statement, noted that authorities had since launched a manhunt to locate and return the escapees to custody. The statement said the Controller General of Corrections, Mr. Sylvester Ndidi Nwakuche, has ordered an immediate investigation into the incident. It assured the public that efforts were being intensified in collaboration with other security agencies and local community leaders and urged them to assist with any information that could aid in recapturing the fugitives. Prison escapes had become a recurring security challenge in Nigeria, often exacerbated by the deteriorating condition of the country's correctional facilities. The incident had further highlighted the deteriorating state of Nigeria's correctional facilities, which have been increasingly vulnerable to natural disasters and security breaches in recent years. On September 9, 2024, flood triggered the collapse of the perimeter wall at the Medium Security Custodial Center in Maiduguri, Borno State. A total of 281 inmates took advantage of the breach to flee. On April 24, 2024, heavy rains also caused the walls of the Suleja Medium Security Prison in Niger State to collapse, leading to the escape of 119 inmates. Still to come on the Delta Television main news, United States selects design for futuristic missile defense system. Details of this and more shortly. Stay with us.
If tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throw away your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate
na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
Thank you for staying on with us. You are watching the Delta Television main news. Straight on to the foreign scene. The United States has selected a design for futuristic Golden Dome missile defense system. The U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled his intentions for the system, aimed at countering next-generation aerial threats to the U.S., including ballistic and cruise missiles. President Trump noted that it will be operational by the end of his time in office. An initial sum of $25 billion had been earmarked in a new budget bill, although the government had estimated it could end up costing 20 times of that over decades. There were also doubts about whether the U.S. would be able to deliver a defense system for such a huge landmass. Officials warned that existing systems had not kept pace with increasingly sophisticated weapons possessed by potential adversaries. A former Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo has been sentenced to a decade's forced labor for corruption. Mr. Augustin Ponyo was found guilty of embezzling over $200 million of public funds by the Congolese Constitutional Court alongside the former governor of the Democratic Republic of Congo's central bank, Mr. Deogracius Mutombo. Mr. Matata's lawyer told newsmen that the ruling was unfair and politically motivated. Parts of the funds were taken from a major agricultural development intended to tackle the country's chronic food shortages. Mr. Matata served as Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo from 2012 to 2016 and now heads the country's leadership and governance for the Development Party. Prior to his premiership, he was Finance Minister and received praise from the International Monetary Fund at the time for stabilizing the country's economy. The central bank's former governor, Mr. Deogracius Mutombo, had also been sentenced to 5 years of forced labor in the same case and had not commented on the ruling. forced labor is legal in Democratic Republic of Congo when mandated by a court for a criminal penalty, according to the U.S. State Department. Both men had been barred from public service for 5 years from the end of their terms of forced labor. A Russian missile strike on a training exercise in Ukraine's Sumy border region has killed 6 servicemen and wounded more than 10 others. Russia's defense ministry had earlier released a video purporting to show an Iskander-missile attack on a training camp, and state news agency TASS said up to 70 people had died. The Sumy region had come under repeated bombardment, and Ukraine launched a month-long occupation of parts of Russia's neighboring Kursk region from there. The Ukrainian military said the aim of the offensive had been to help create a buffer zone to protect Sumy, but some have complained of the scale of military losses. And back home, the Senate has said no raw material of Nigerian origin will be exported without undergoing a minimum of 30% local value addition, whether through processing, refining, packaging, or industrial transformation. The Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, stated this in Abuja while declaring open the Africa Raw Materials Summit. He said the Senate has resolved to be proactive in addressing what he called structural imbalance, reaffirming full legislative backing for the 30% minimum value addition bill currently under consideration. According to him, the bill was not intended to stifle trade, rather designed to ignite domestic enterprise, create jobs, attract capital, and build resilient value chains that benefits Nigerians, adding that the initiative aligns with a broader continental vision. Senator Akpabio said the historic pattern in which Africa merely supplies inputs while others reap the benefits of innovation, branding, and global market control must be rejected. He described the proposed law as a moral compass for other African countries, assured that the bill will be passed this week and transmitted to the House of Representatives for concurrence. That's our news. Here's a thought for the day. Be proud of yourself for how far you have come, and never stop pushing to be the best you can be. That's a thought for the day, but just before we go, here are the highlights of the news. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has called on members of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, to take a more proactive role in managing public perception as a strategic tool for fostering unity, development, and good governance across the country. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori made a call at the 2025 NIPR Week, which is going on right now in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The state government has commenced the construction of internal roads and drainage works at the National Youth Service Corps NYSC Orientation Camp in Iseluku, a Neocha North local government area, as part of efforts at addressing infrastructural challenges in the camp. We also reported that President Bola Tinubu has approved the training of over 5 million workers in the private and public sectors on the deployment of artificial intelligence, AI, to boost Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, and national security. The Digital Bridge Institute, DBI, headed by Dr. Bosun Tijani, will conduct the training over the next 3 years under the Ministry of Communications, Innovations, and Digital Economy. And from abroad, we did reports that United States selects design for futuristic missile defense system. That's our news. Thank you so much for being a part of it. You have a beautiful night rest. Good night.